How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to my Black Torch reviews. And today we're going to be doing Chapter 8, Special Force. So, we start off this chapter a little differently. We go off to a random part in Japan, and we see a man just coming out, smoking a cigarette, and he comes out and he sees a a few bodies, um a few people missing their bodies, I should say, and all they're doing is their heads are just um on the ground, and he freaks out. I mean, like any normal human would. And this goes on the news basically, and they're just covering of what's happening. There's no witnesses, nobody's coming forward, and they just don't know what they're doing. They just don't know what to do basically. And so the little girl who is the Mononoke, uh, Kuya, I think her name was. So they're everybody's just eating like noodles and stuff, and Kuya's like, you know what, like, damn, this is kind of crazy. Well, Jiro kind of asked the question, like, hey, like, why do Mononukes eat human? And basically, what she says is it's mostly, it's not required for them to eat humans, but it comes down to humans having vital energy, basically, to sustain the Mononuke. So Rigi kind of just says like, oh, so the latest strings of murders can be viewed as Mononoke attempting to build up their strength for something. And y- that's basically what it is. Rigi's kind of spot on with these type of things. We cut away to the first division commander and Shiba, the second division commander. They're having a little talk, and this lady is just completely ruthless. She says to Shiba is like, hey, if you are trying to waste my time right now, I will use the every ounce of my power to make sure you are demoted basically. And Shiba's like, okay, yeah, sure, no worries. But there's still something you probably want to see, right? And uh Shiba kind of gives her the information of the Mononoke that released Rango. She's like, "Oh, okay, that's nice." And then Shiba kind of says like, "Hey, you are the ones who are dealing with these murders. Let my kids on it. Let the three kids help with this case." She straight up says no. And he's like, "Okay, we've done some training. They're a lot more stronger. They're a lot more right-minded for this type of action." And um she unfortunately gets a phone call, and she asks what's going on. And there's a bunch of fog happening in an area, and they just don't know what's going on. Like, a lot of fog is happening, and they have to go and um see what it is. And Shiba kind of says, hey, if you want, we could help. And so we cut away back to the gang, the back to the uh Django, sorry, Rango, Jiro, Ichika, Rigi, Assistant Girl, and Mononoke Girl. And they're like, oh, we should just go sorry, Jiro has the bright idea, like, oh yeah, we should just go and, help these guys out. And everybody's like, yo, you're kind of stupid for thinking that. And Jiro's like, yo, who cares about some scruffy old man anyways? Let's just go. And all of a sudden, Shiba is just there, and he's like, oh, like, don't say anything that will just make me cry, okay? And Jiro's like, "Oh fuck! Like, when the hell did you get here?" And we cut away to the scene of the fog, and there's a lot of Bureau of Espionage. They're all around the area, and Jiro makes a comment about that. They're like, "Yo, like, you guys really do exist." She was like, "Yeah, like, if you do your job right, you're not gonna know who we are." And so basically, um, Shiba puts out the plan. He's like, okay, number one, here's three objectives you have. Number one, rescue victims. Number two, dispel the barrier. And number three, capture any enemy agents. And they all kind of agree, right? I mean, they all do agree. However, there's one problem. Communication. Communication will not happen between all three of them if they're in that thick fog. So what Mononoke girl does is she conjures up her flowers and she says, "Hey, each of you have these. If you eat it, then you guys will be able to communicate with us in a three-way." So then we cut. They all are. The entire team is like, okay, we're gonna start this operation. So we cut away to the Mononukes. So the Mononukes are there's we cut away. We see one girl and she's standing at the top with this barrier activated. You can think of her as like Pito from uh I think that was her name, Pito, the girl, the cat girl, basically from Hunter x Hunter. Then we have a nice really bulky bull dude who's just eating people, and then we have a guy with a flag with horns, and he's wearing a gas mask basically, and he's the one who's controlling all the humans basically. And of course, you know that they're going to just devour these people just so they can gain their strength. So the girl who has the barrier open, she notifies everybody. She's like, "Hey, there's three people, and Rango's here as well." And so the big bull dude is like, "Oh shit, Rango? Okay, you know what? We're about to go and go get Rango." There is another man who's standing off in the distance, and he's he's not really partaking in anything. He's just standing there. So as they say this, we cut back to the team, and they're getting ready to go in, right? And as they go in, they kind of observe their surroundings and whatnot. And that's when Jiro looks at the crows, and there's some crows inside, and he starts talking to these crows just so he knows where the enemies are, basically. So once they find out where the enemies are, they decide on where they should split up. However, this is interrupted when the bulls come in. The bull dude comes in and sees Rango and everybody else. And Jiro has a smart idea. He's like, "Okay, you guys go. You that Rigi and Ichika, they just have to leave." So they kind of refuse. They're like, "No, it's better if we all come and fight this guy together." And he's like, "Nah, just all of you guys should go." So they all disperse and they all leave. So then the bull dude is like, "Okay, if you guys aren't gonna fight in a pack, then it's gonna be a 1v1, I guess." And Jules tells the guy to shut up, and basically, it's not here for chit chat, we're here to fight. So then in the next page, we get to see the flag dude, and this the flag dude's gonna go up against Ichika, and we see the girl who's having the barrier, but she's like taking a nap, so I guess she's not gonna be really fighting or anything. However, the guy who I mentioned before, who's just standing by a pole, we see him more in the forefront, and uh, I'm not gonna really say anything too much, but the dude's holding something all bandaged up, and Rigi's standing with him, and he's like, you grab your weapon. I'm gonna cut you down, right here, right now. Basically, they're all on business. They're all standing on business, basically, and that's where the chapter ends. Very eventful chapter. They find out why the Mononoke need to eat humans, and you know, um, it goes along with the recent murders that were going on, which is nice, and well, not nice, but like you know what it means. And we are getting to see the actual team going up against a Mononukes, basically. So progressing to the story quite nicely. What's gonna happen next? I feel like, of course, we're gonna get I feel like we're gonna get Ichigo's fight first, then Rigi's fight, and then maybe Jiro's fight at the end. Or they might change it up. Who knows? But that's the end of the chapter. Hope you guys enjoyed, and like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I will see you next time. Take care.